2 million years ago, in the sparse forests of Europe, a giant elephant emerged. They were the early ancestors of the mammoths, adapted to the cool climate of the Ice Age. Thick fur and layers of fat beneath their skin helped them endure the biting cold. Their massive curved tusks were not only for defense, but also for knocking down trees to find food. Their heavy footsteps pressed into the snow, marking the migration paths of the herd. On the frozen plains, howling winds blew, yet the mammoths marched on with patience. They were gentle giants, slow, but filled with the strength of the Ice Age. This was the beginning of a survival journey lasting millions of years. The primitive mammoth herds stayed close, like a massive family. Adult females led the way, guiding the herd on long journeys. The calves were kept in the middle, safe from cold winds and predators. When one was weak or injured, the herd slowed down to wait. Their deep trumpeting calls echoed across the icy plains. The herd traveled dozens of kilometers daily, always maintaining a steady formation. Unity was their greatest strength in enduring the harsh winters. By living in herds, primitive mammoths survived hundreds of thousands of challenging years. In the frozen winter, finding food became a matter of life and death. They used their massive curved tusks to push away thick layers of snow. Their large molars crushed dry grass, moss, and the few remaining leaves. The herd had to travel far to find land not yet buried by snow. At times, they stopped near frozen rivers, breaking ice to find water. The calves learned by watching and imitating their mother's movements. The herd spread out, each searching a patch of snow to save time. Their persistence in foraging ensured survival through the harsh Ice Age winters. Despite their size, the primitive mammoth herds were still targets for predators. Saber-toothed cats, with their long, sharp fangs, often ambushed from the forest edges. Cave lions stalked them too, eyeing the vulnerable calves. When danger came close, adults quickly formed a protective circle around the young. They trumpeted loudly, echoes carrying across the icy plains to warn predators. Many times, predators fled before the united strength of the herd. Yet sometimes, a weak calf fell prey to the hunters. In the harsh Ice Age world, mammoths had to remain ever vigilant to survive. When predators attacked, the mammoth herd became a living fortress. Adults lowered their heads, tusks raised, ready to strike. A saber-toothed cat leapt in, only to be thrust back by a massive tusk. The violent strikes scared the predators, forcing them to retreat in the blizzard. The calves trembled within the circle, eyes wide as they witnessed the life and death battle. Cave lions charged, but were met with stomps that shook the ground. After minutes of chaos, the predators gave up, leaving the battlefield covered in snow. It was proof that unity kept the mammoths alive in a perilous world. The Earth entered a colder, harsher phase than ever before. The green forests vanished, leaving endless frozen grasslands. Cold winds howled, sweeping thick snow across the ground. Food grew scarce, forcing the herds to migrate farther than ever. The weak could not endure the prolonged cold and fell along the journey. The survivors grew stronger, continuing their march for survival. The mammoth herds became symbols of Ice Age endurance. In an ever harsher world, only the strongest could endure. As the climate worsened, not every mammoth could survive. Those with thicker fur and smaller bodies adapted better to the cold. Their molars evolved with ridges, crushing tough grasses and icy moss. Gradually, a new species appeared, the steppe mammoth. They were smaller than their ancestors, but quicker and tougher in the harsh land. From here, mammoths entered their golden age in the Ice Age. And at last, evolution gave rise to the most famous species, the woolly mammoth. This evolution was proof of the ancient elephant's extraordinary adaptability. In their struggle to survive, primitive mammoths faced not only nature, but a new rival, humans. Homo erectus learned to observe and understand mammoth behavior. They crafted sharp stone tools, preparing for daring hunts. Pit traps were dug, waiting for a mammoth's heavy steps. When one mammoth was wounded, the herd trumpeted, trying to protect it. Humans gained meat, hide, bones, and tusks, vital resources for survival. Bones formed frames, hides covered them, creating shelters for winter. The meeting of mammoth and man began a new chapter in survival history. As time passed, the worsening climate exceeded the primitive mammoth's endurance. Forests they once roamed disappeared, leaving only icy grasslands. Food dwindled, weakening many herds. The small calves could not survive winter, lying still in the snow. Primitive mammoth herds vanished, replaced by better adapted species. Steppe and woolly mammoths gradually took their place in the Ice Age. The extinction of primitive mammoths marked the end of a grand era. Yet their fossils remain, telling the tragic story of the Ice Age. Though gone for millions of years, traces of primitive mammoths remain deep in the earth. Massive tusks have been found under permafrost in Siberia and Europe. Each fossil is a page in history, recounting this giant survival story. Modern humans still learn from them lessons of adaptation and survival limits. DNA studies from tusks and bones open hopes of recreating mammoths. With imagination, we can picture the world where mammoths once walked. They are not only an extinct species, but a symbol of an entire era. And that legacy forever reminds humanity of life's fragility before harsh nature. The journey of the mammoths has only just begun. Follow now so you won't miss the next episodes.